Hey, Tim Sykes here. Wanted to do a little recap of trading today. Probably better if I waited till tomorrow, but I don't know if I'll have good Wi-Fi, so I just want to get this out. And I think it's applicable. Traded this PIXY bounce. It's actually bouncing much more now. 206. It's actually hitting my goals, but it's very gradual. I got out a little too early. Um, it's really kind of just an annoying stock to trade. Like it's very volatile in the morning and now it's very gradual. The same thing with AAOI, big drop, kind of gradual bounce and then it fails. I have no doubt that Pixie will probably fade back to the lows by day's end, but I'm just taking small profits. That is the name of the game right now. That's what's working for me. Trading small, taking small profits. I also should mention tonight we have a stealth trading summit. It's free with this trader named Ben. Actually, pretty cool. He has a patent on a computer system that generates graphical displays of stocks and options trading data. And Tim Bowen is going to interview him tonight. I'll post a link to this. Try to tune in, in like live because it'll be cool. I think you're going to be able to ask questions. If not, you'll be able to watch it later too. But just start understanding. I actually talked about this on my challenge webinar last night. Everyone's like, oh, Tim, you're just hitting us up with all this different stuff and it's so overwhelming and you just profit from everything. As I told challenge students last night, actually, I lost money last year and I'm losing money this year. Everyone thinks like, oh, it's just like Tim just does it for the money. I don't, okay? There's many ways I could be profiting and not work so hard. Instead, I'm losing and working my ass off. Why? Because we're investing. We're investing in the future. We're investing in new tools. And Ben is going to explain his patent. He's going to explain how he's using new tools. I really think you're going to like it. And again, I don't mind losing a little money because I want to create more millionaire students. If you start to understand that is my sole focus with everything, you'll understand why I teach the way that I do, why I do things the way that I do, why I'm losing money when frankly I should be making money. Challenge students just got a whole new student portal. We hired a bunch of new people. We have these new programmers, new AI people. It's really exciting. And I think that when you start using these new tools and using the new investments that I've paid a lot of money for, I think they'll help you in your journey. And I think they'll pay off for you. And I think they'll pay off for me in the long run. That's what this is all about. I've said this for several weeks, several months. This is not the year for earning. This is the year for learning. And I really believe that. I'm still dealing with my over trading problem from a few weeks ago now. I'm up $2,000 this week. I mean, that's nothing huge. It's laughable compared to 2020 and 2021, but I'm pretty proud of it. 6 wins, 3 losses, good ratio, good discipline trading, small losses when I'm wrong. Cut AAOI nicely before it faded. PIXY, I mean, on this one, probably could have been about double. Oh, wow. And of course, it just keeps going just to rub it in. But if you ever miss a play, if you ever underestimate a play, it's really not the end of the world. This morning, I think part of the reason why I wanted to do this video is, you pick plays near the market open that you think can spike. UCAR, I missed yesterday with this big spike. Stocks to Trade Breaking News alerted it here in the 5s before it went to the 9s. Shoulda, woulda, could have. I didn't want to chase it. There was actually some big sellers here at 6:30ish. And if you were watching it, it was very strange. I think there's some over aggressive short sellers who got squeezed. So it probably shouldn't have spiked to the 9s, but this is what's fueling these stocks right now. You're seeing over aggressive shorts getting squeezed. So I missed this morning spike. Today, it started morning spiking, and I bought just a small position, and the morning spike failed pretty quickly. So I was wrong to buy that this morning, but I don't mind, right? Like, look at my trade here on UCAR. I lost like $100. I followed that up. This was MGOL. I had it from a few days ago in my Supernova newsletter because I bought it in the 260s. Sold this one too soon today. Got all the way up to 310. I was selling in the 280s because this one's just choppy. It's tried so many times to break 3, and now it looks like it's trying again. Just be careful, okay? If these stocks are truly going to break out, it really shouldn't be this difficult. I said this on my challenge webinar last night. I'll say it to you right now. I like MGOL. I like that it's a small business. Like Messi coming to Miami is going to be huge for this company. It's going to be huge for soccer, aka football in America. But I don't know. I don't know if they're working on a financing. I don't know if someone's selling big. Just very strange action. So don't feel bad if you sell too soon. I'm glad that I still gave it a chance and, made a few hundred after I probably should have added, when I got in the 260s, it went all the way down to the 230s. Some people ask, why is like supernova alert separate? Because there's different rules. If I'm trading, just day trading, I would never, ever buy a stock in the 260s and hold to the 230s. It doesn't sound like that much, but that's 15%. I don't take 15% losses. Supernova alerts, it's a little different. I have a wider range. So that's why it's separate. I don't want you getting confused. Gave it more time, profited. Very nice. So UCAR picked the wrong one. MGOL underestimated it. I did miss, PIXY, which was a good morning spiker this morning, but it also failed. Like it had a good morning spike from 240 to 315 for a few minutes before failing. A better morning spiker was VCIG, which kept going. So out of the morning spikers, I picked the worst in UCAR, missing PIXY, missing VCIG. Then I, if whatever happens in the morning spikes, then you usually have like either a morning panic or, maybe a breaking news play midday. If you want to trade, you don't have to trade as much as I'm doing. I'm just testing out a lot of different things. AAOI, I tested because this was a multi-day, multi-week runner. And, theoretically it should bounce at some point. But I just don't think we're there yet. What was that other one that was similar that I was watching? DHC. This one should bounce at some point too. So I like looking at these multi-day bouncers. DHC isn't really bouncing that much. It had a good morning panic and bounce. Well, only like 10 cents a share. It's just not that volatile. That's the problem here. So DHC did have a panic and bounce, but, negative 10 cents and then plus 10 cents. Bzz, boring. Anyways, AAOI failed to, bounce much, so I cut losses. But PIXY, I'm really happy with this trade. This is probably going to be the last trade of the day for me. I don't see any truly great plays right now. And again, this doesn't look like much, 5%. My goal was for a bounce back to the low twos. But as I started by saying with this video lesson, PIXY, it did get up to the low twos, but it was so gradual. And, 2 times it looked like it was breaking into the tubes and it failed. So I don't mind selling it a little too early at 198. I still profited. The cool thing about cutting losses, like this one trade, just 5,000 shares, but this one profit wipes out both losses. My losses are roughly 200. This one profit is 400 plus. And then I also had a $600 profit. So like this is why, it's not fun for me to trade so small. It's not exciting. But I think it's good after you have a big loss. And I think it's also good in this market, really just to trade small. And I'm learning, none of these are perfect plays. AAOI wasn't like a perfect morning panic. I was just testing. PIXY wasn't a perfect panic and bounce. I was just testing. MGOL, I tested my swing trading. UCAR, I picked the wrong one, So when I can make 2,000 in a week, trading small, picking the wrong plays, selling too soon, like it's not like, oh my God, I was so perfect, I made 2,000. It's more like this is near worst case scenario in a choppy market. And in a choppy market, you have to expect that you're going to miss plays, that plays aren't going to do exactly what you want. Frankly, I'm surprised SOUN I had last week and it didn't break out. And now it's breaking out so nicely. Like right here was the breakout day. And then what happened the second day was red. And then green, and then red, and then green. Like, look at this. Red, green, red, green. Like, this is a tough chart pattern to trade, even though SOUN is breaking out. So this really exemplifies the market. And this is like the best breakout that I see. And it can't even put 2 green days together. So don't feel bad if you're missing out. MGOL, same kind of thing. Like, it's technically breaking out, but so choppy. Just keep trying to take singles. Don't overstay. try to learn. Try to use this market for what it's good for, which is testing, tinkering, learning. And then again, tonight, tune into this Stealth Trading Summit. It's 100% free. You have no risk whatsoever. But I think that you'll like these new tools, and Ben will explain his patent, and we'll start to explain more about why I've literally lost over $1 million each of the past 2 years investing in you guys, investing in your future. You just have to pay attention, study up, and then actually capitalize. My goal in the next few years is over 100 millionaires. I've already got close to 40. So it's not a question of if, it's a question of who wants it enough, who's willing to study enough, who's willing to stay open-minded. Even if you don't trade options, learn about this. I think that there's something to learn from so many different strategies and so many different traders. And also email admin@timothysykes.com if you are interested in my upcoming conference. I still don't have the final date. I think that it's going to be October 26th and October 27th, I think, in Vegas. But just email admin@timothysykes.com, put, conference in the title, and we'll get you on the early bird list, and we'll, let you know when we do know. It should probably only be a few days from now. But it's kind of cool to have so many millionaires. We're going to have, I don't know how many can actually come in person. If you came to the last conference, we had pretty much a lot of millionaires up on stage. I think it was like 12 or 14 or something. So we're going to try to outdo that this time. We're going to need a bigger stage. It's cool. Okay. This is what I love. Even though the market isn't like, raging hot, it's still there. And there's more opportunities lately for all the naysayers. I mean, look at the NASDAQ, solid uptrend over, 100 days. Are we overextended? Yes. Do we need a rest? Yes. Maybe, a little quieter July. I don't know. But you can still take it one trade at a time. And every day you can learn a little something. Even if you miss a trade, even if you don't trade. I mean, look at this. Like LUCY, I've just been watching. They signed a deal for their next generation eyeglasses with Reebok. And it was very cool. And, look at this. It should have been a first green day, Reebok. And what has it done since that news? It's dropped by 70% in 3 days. They just did an offering. So if you ever see a stock like this with good news and people are wondering why it can't hold the gains, just expect the worst. Start expecting the worst. I know that I'm a cheery, positive person, but I'm telling you to expect the worst with these companies. Expect the worst with these companies. Expect the worst with other traders. I see other traders are like, oh, this is a fine gentleman. This is a good person. Just expect the worst. Okay? We're all gamblers. We're all traders. I try to be, transparent, but sadly, there's a lot of people who are not transparent. And you just have to expect the worst out of all these companies, out of all these traders, out of trading. And the good news is if you start to expect the worst, you protect yourself from giant crashes like Lucy, which even though they have good news, something's terribly wrong. They need money to even do the deal with Reebok. And obviously they can't raise that much money because no one wants to trust them. But if you expect the worst, you're not hugely surprised. I know some people tried to dip buy Lucy anywhere along here, and there was really no good dip buys. There's no pure panic. There's no solid bounces. And then you have this huge Reebok news, and people are confused. If you expect the worst, it might be, somewhat surprising that it's dropped so much, but not too surprising because you've already expected the worst. If you expect the best, and you see this, and you're like, oh my God, penny stocks make no sense. This is crazy. They just signed a deal with Reebok and they're down 70%. I don't understand anything. You don't understand anything because your perspective is off. You expect the best. So leave a comment below. Let's see who even makes it to the end of this video and who can follow simple instructions. Say, I will prepare for the worst. That said, be ready for opportunity. Be open to using new technology like this patented technology that Ben is going to be explaining tonight. Be open-minded. Just be cynical. I really think that's a good approach for the market right now. I mean, this is how I've made $2,000 this week. This is how I'm just staying green, even with my own big mistakes year to date. I'm clinging. I'm clinging to staying green. Nothing to brag about, but at the same time, I'm trying to control my losses and my own issues. And the good news is the market is giving opportunity after opportunity. So I'll see you in chat. Tune in tonight. I'll post a link to the free webinar, and let's just keep taking singles. And again, leave a comment below. Say, I will prepare for the worst. I promise to say cynical. Thank you.